Hello, and welcome to the third year of Axis and Allies playing against a bid of the Allies having 200, and then they're on hard mode, and we also aren't allowed to sink undefended convoys. It's a mess. The British have a tremendous air force, viciously able to attack us in a whole bunch of different ways. The Russians have decided to step forward, though I'm realizing now that they've overrun their artillery. Like, a lot of their artillery is back here, so they don't have that much offensive power, so I think we're safe to step up and into the front. If the British want to step forward with two ground troops and like 9 to 12 airplanes, then that's going to help me in the long run, because their air force is going to be dead. Sure, the Russians might be able to step forward afterwards and clean it up, but we still have 7 more Germans to push forward here, and I think we're going to be fine. Plus, all these planes are going to be landing in there, though a couple have to come back to the Baltic States. We'll talk about that in a second. The bid that we bought, all men, 11 and 1. We had to repair Germany. We have less money than we wanted. I thought about getting an AA gun, but we really don't need to protect France. Not for another turn, at least, while this group of, transports figures itself out. Though Algeria, let's leave 1 man there, because if they do go into Morocco, we can counterattack with the man, the tank, and the bomber. We have the bomber actually has enough movement out here right now that it was able to come down into Egypt, and we're going to go a man and a bomber into Egypt, and instead of going full force into it, because if we sent everything into Egypt, they could easily, the British that is, attack us with a single man. Bomber, 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 plane, 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 bomber, like everything. We have no way of getting any reinforcements to North Africa. Our shipping lanes have been killed. The Bismarck has been sunk. So there's just nothing for us there. The Eastern Front, we're just taking a couple of easy wins. We may or may not get Archangel on a 1/3 chance. We should kill Belarusia. There's a slight chance that we might not get it. And this tank is also going down. And yeah, then we'll just have to figure out how to distribute this infantry. Germany's pretty much in a box right now. This Karelia would be nice. That would help us really break free, but we're going to have no things in the water, and because these air forces are so insanely large, there's no way that we're ever going to be able to afford a navy. It's just too expensive. Hearken to the actual real-life reality for the Kriegsmarine. Archangel, boom. Attack. We did lose. That's a 1/3 chance. We didn't get to take the location. They now don't have to take it back and all this other crap. That's unfortunate. We also don't get the dollar. Belarusia. We did hit the 2 of them, and they missed there, which was... They hit us on the unlikely one, and they missed us on the very likely one. You know how it is. And then Bulgaria, Romania. They missed us on a half shot as well. Okay, now that I'm okay giving up Archangel. And then finally, there's Egypt. Now, this one here, they're going to hit us on a 2. And like I said, these North Africans are very valuable to me because we cannot replace them. And we got it. Nice. So, very good. Our bomber needs to land. All of our planes are coming back into Poland. That's going to give the Americans a free hand to move forward. But we just really need to lock this down. Anti-aircraft gun forward. Anti-aircraft gun forward. Southern Europe. I think we can send 3 men to the Baltics and still have enough here that this is completely safe, and we'll march their 1 unit back into Germany because, again, they can't get to France in 1 turn. Though we might end up needing to go back. But Germany can get to all the locations in Europe that I care about, so that it's just dandy. It's fine and dandy. And then the Archangel planes come back to the Baltic states. So they are a little bit more vicious in what they can attack. Not to mention the tanks can always come back to anywhere that's needed. And even Karelia, potentially, if they do double down and going into Ukraine to hold it, then we can pivot back into Karelia with all those tanks and then threaten some other things. So let's hit done and see what's going to happen. We're going to put a man up here. We're going to put a man in Italy. And we're going to put all kinds of men in Germany with that artillery piece. We like tanks as Germans because, the Panzers are our way of life. But a little bit of artillery is going to go a long way. It's a little annoying to have that on my screen. Let's see. killing us in Egypt, like I said, lots of men and planes, lots of men and planes in Burma. Holy crap, look at that Air Force. In such a nasty spot, too. 1, 2, 3. Threatening Indochina. Threatening, well, basically everything. We'll see what the Americans end up doing. So the Japanese, I want to keep taking Burma, but I have no way of reinforcing that. I can't really push any further here. Even in Xinjiang, for instance, the Russians could hit back, but not with enough Air Force. So perhaps that is an opening. It's just stack hard in Xinjiang, let them come in if they want to Szechuan sauce land. We could move into Yakut, but that is allowing them to counterattack us in a big way. Not a fan. This is a good standoff line, maybe sending a man to the Soviet Far East. Perhaps, am I going to keep unloading into Buryatia? I don't know. There's a whole bunch of things. The American fleet did scatter down to Australia, and they did put some more in the water. So, lots going on there. We'll see what happens. But for now, let me cut. All right, here we go. Second half of the year, playing as Japan. We've decided to take the Soviet Far East, step forward with some bomber plane support just to annihilate a man, step into Xinjiang, as we talked about. They could counterattack with 4 infantry and 2 artillery. We might only have 4 infantry and 1 artillery. They could bring planes. But I don't know, I feel like they're going to be busy. They're going to be busy on the Western Front if they want to divert that many planes. You know what? We have enough Air Force that we can take Szechuan back if they take it. So we will just stack taller here. I keep going back and forth on this. I was having a really hard time. Here we're going to, again, step forward with 1 man, drop 4 planes, and we brought the troops from Japan into Yunnan. I will not go straight to French Indochina because these bombers and planes all can get there, and it's too hard to defend. Now, the fleet is the most interesting piece here. Is we're actually buying a new transport so that we can start coming down and taking over the islands. We don't have enough troops to support it right now, but we're going to pick them up off of the islands along the way. Hopefully get some Australia out of this, some stuff like that. New Zealand, maybe even Hawaii. We'll see. We're probably going to go to Caroline Islands with it next turn, because from there you can kind of get to anything. And when everything's threatened, it's impossible to defend, right? Because a fleet in Caroline Islands can hit Hawaii, New Zealand, Eastern Australia, and Western Australia. Not all in one turn, obviously, but all 4 are vulnerable, which is interesting. On top of that, we've put our subs here because I wanted to get it as close to the American fleet as it can without being able to get killed by this destroyer. I want to make sure this American fleet couldn't kill me. They have 5 attackers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defenders. We both have a battleship, but airplanes and aircraft carriers are better on defense. These bad boys cannot get there in time. There's no additional planes, so we should be winning this battle. And they're losing more expensive units to take this battle to begin with, so I think it's good for us. And then the subs over here, and these 3 destroyers. The 3 destroyers protect us against some weird, like, bomber movements in case Buryatia stays in enemy hands. But it also, they can team up these 3 and these 2 and attack East Indies. So if the Americans do say, screw it, let's go take East Indies with a battleship shot, a couple of planes, and a man, then we can annihilate their fleet with air support, and then these 5 things attacking in. So a lot of weird positioning. We also left a destroyer here to go with our new aircraft carrier that will give us a lot more mobility options with these planes. If these subs and stuff decide to go into a weird location, we have this destroyer to back it up. If they decide to come really close, well, these fleets are going to ward them off. I think that the enemy might want to just reorg into Hawaii, which we probably would not be able to attack under this configuration. But we would be able to group up in Caroline in a way that really threatens and pushes them away. Or even Wake. We might even just take Wake Island and stand toe-to-toe, face-to-face with them. Well, that way we're not getting an island that's worth any cash, but we're lined up in a way to threaten a lot, because we can still go through Solomon's and get these islands. Anyway, so let's hit done. That's enough strategy talk. A lot of strategy is happening, as you can see. They did get the lucky 1/3 chance, so we didn't get this Yakut. Let's see about Burma. Are they going to get the lucky 1/3 chance? They did. That's 2 1/3 chances back to back that are the difference between getting a province and not. But at least they missed their 3rd 1/3 chance, because I would have thought maybe they cheating. We can bring 1 plane back to this aircraft carrier that's going to be there. 1 plane back to Buryatia, the bomber back. And now I could bring both planes back. And then all of a sudden, I'm not sure that they can defend Hawaii. Let's do that. That gives us tremendous options. Okay. So these 2 bombers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they could attack me, but I should be good. I have a backup transport coming down in the water if needed. They can't get any other planes in there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Sea zone 60 and move phase. We will put our boats. We will put our men. Done, right? $38. We're getting a little bit of money. Let's see how the Americans and Russians respond. They went for Gibraltar and Morocco. They are bombing us. And they did build up that Mediterranean fleet. And they have... Oh, okay, now that's kind of a little bit of a problem. They're now threatening Italy, France. So hopefully we've pushed back the Eastern Front at this point, because this one American contingency can definitely land and cause us some pain here. They're taking Karelia, Buryatia. They damaged us for 12 damage. Well, I'll leave that dissection of what happened here to the next round. But basically, we did carve ourselves some space. We forced the Russians back by standing tall in Poland. We have enough to take back Karelia and all of these locations. It's just, what do we do with the fact that the Americans can come in and land 6 troops? I don't know. I don't know what we do about that. It's a bit tricky, to say the least. A bit tricky. Romania is not too bad. We can like lay it on thick in Romania as long as we take Ukraine. I don't know, because they can still always do blitzes, but the Russians really can't afford to be blitzing very much longer. 3 transports from the British as well that could potentially attack Germany at any time, with 1, 2 bombers here. Okay, these planes can't get there. Can the bombers? 1, 2, 3, 4. Very likely. Oh. Wow. If the Germans take over all this stuff, we'll be fine. But still, it's a lot of firepower. A lot of planes over here. Holy damn. Anyways, we'll let you know what happens in year 4. See you for now.